Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about how to use the Google Keyword Planner tool to find topics for your blog posts. So this is the tool and you should see a link to the tool in the description of this video. And when you're here, click Go to Keyword Planner. And then don't be thrown off by this warning over here that says your account isn't active. Um, You may not see that, but if you do see that, it's talking about your ads account. An ads account is not necessary to use the Google Keyword Planner tool. It's simply telling you that your ads account is not active, or my ads account isn't active because I don't run Google Ads, so I don't need to have it active. So I'll just hide it. And then I'll click Discover New Keywords over here. If you follow my mouse, the yellow blob. And then for this tutorial, I will search for the keyword newsletter. So I'll type newsletter where it says enter product or service closely related to your business. I'm not entering products or services, obviously. I'm looking for keywords. So Google Keyword Planner, this tool just Google wants you to run ads. So the language is so that it kind of sounds like it wants you to search for keywords related to products and services. But don't worry too much about the language. Just, the keyword research tool works perfectly fine for anything, really. So I'm going to type newsletter and then click enter. Now here's the thing, you can actually search for multiple keywords or multiple topics at the same time. So you don't have to, like I could just search for all the results regarding newsletter, but I know that there's another word, another topic that's very closely related to newsletter, and it's called, the word or the phrase is email list. And because they're so similar in meaning and they're used interchangeably by most people, that I want to kind of search them together. So I'll write email list and then click enter. And then I will click get results. All right. The Google Keyword Planner user interface is ugly. It's just really bad. Like, for example, if you look at it, the first top of the page is just useless. There's just too much space here that's doing nothing for some reason. That's how it is. But anyway, it's what it is, and I'll get rid of refine keywords area just to make some more room for myself because I'm not going to use them anyway. Anyway, so these are my search results related to newsletter and email list. So the top two rows are showing me newsletter and email list, and the only thing I care about here is average monthly searches. So I want to see what my ideal readers are looking for. So if you listen to some of the SEO gurus out there, they will tell you to look at competition and whatnot. And those are fine. You can if you want to look at competition, but personally, I have never cared about competition because I don't want to write about keywords, like I said, I don't focus on keywords, I focus on topics. So whether a particular word is really competitive is not important for me. Also, I'm not running ads, so the competition part makes sense for people who are running ads. It also makes sense if you're trying to rank on number one of Google search engine. Now, I think that's the wrong thing to worry about because, especially for people like us, solopreneurs, one person blogger, competition and things like that, it's just not very sustainable. Like, worrying about those sort of things is just a waste of time. For me, it's better for you to just write about the topics that your readers actually want to learn about. And then you can get people on your website using Pinterest or social media. And if your content is good and people find value in it, then whether the word or the topic is low competition or high competition, it doesn't really matter because people will start finding your content one way or another, and that's all really that's what really matters. So I'm not too worried about competition. What I'm worried about is writing about topics that people are actually searching for, because that tells me that the more searches there are, the more problems there are. Like people have problems regarding those topics that they want solutions for. They're looking for solutions regarding those things. So that's what I'm worried about, or that's what I care about. So I only look at average monthly searches, this criteria. So as you can see, both newsletter and email list have pretty good search volume. So newsletter has like 10K to 100K searches per month. Email list has 1 to 10K per month. So they're both pretty, popular topics. Newsletter is probably more popular than email list. So some people will tell you that, hey, since newsletter has more search volume and low competition, it's a good keyword to target. And that's true, but it's just a mindset thing. I will write about newsletter, but not because it's low competition and high search volume. It's simply because more people are searching for it means that more people want to know about it. So that's the mindset thing that's at play here for me anyway. Anyway, so I will scroll down and see what other relevant keywords are there. Or, like I said, I don't think of them as keywords, I think of them more as topics, basically. So, mailing list service, and you'll see a lot of different topics here, and not all of them are going to make sense for you or your business, and that's fine. Like, I don't care about mailing list. Mailing list sounds like um, less like a newsletter and more like a physical mailing list or something like that. Email newsletter, okay, email list for marketing, interesting because I write about marketing, so email list for marketing kind of is curious, but right now I just want to see what else is out there. Email newsletter service, okay, so that's interesting because it tells me that people want to know about the kind of email newsletter services that are out there. So I'm assuming things like ConvertKit or Kit now, as it's called, MailChimp, MailerLite, Beehive, and so this particular topic tells me that people just want to know what type of newsletter services are out there, what different newsletter services are out there. So I could easily actually write a list type blog post where I talk about all the different newsletter services that are out there, and I can write like short paragraphs for each, kind of describing pros and cons of each service and what they're good for or whatnot, and their prices and etc. etc. Newsletter examples. Okay, so newsletter examples, so people are interested in seeing the type of newsletters that they can create, I'm assuming. So I can actually write a blog post about newsletter examples. And in fact, I already did. So if I go to my blog post, um, I've been writing about newsletters lately. So I recently wrote um, a blog post. It's not exactly about newsletter examples, it's more like what to write in a newsletter. And then I have some newsletter examples um, as well in this blog, but it's just not focused on newsletter example. It's more focused on what to write in a newsletter. But it's similar, it's close. But it tells me that I could probably write another blog post that's solely focused on examples from other newsletter creators. So uh, that's something that I want to keep in mind. Now, here's another tip. When you're looking for these, you may want to also, have like a notebook in front of you so you can write down the topics that resonates with you, that you're thinking like, oh, this is something that I could write about. Or you can even start like a Google spreadsheet or something, and you can write about it. You can input your ideas there as well. So different ways to do that. But yeah, keep track of the topics that are jumping out to you. You can write about them. What else is there? Email list for sale. Okay, so people who are looking to buy email lists, they're probably doing that. Free newsletter service. Okay, that's kind of nice to know. So people are looking for newsletter services that are free to use. So you can also write a blog post that are for free newsletter services only, maybe a list of that if you want to. Or you can combine the two. You can you can write a blog post about all the different types of newsletters that are out there, and then you can have a section that's only for uh, newsletter services that are free or something like that. Newsletter design is something that people are searching for. So that tells me that people are interested in learning about how to design their newsletters. So I could write something about that too. So yeah, tons of topics out there that I could write about. So here's the takeaway. When I'm doing searches, I don't necessarily search for keywords. I don't care about competition, whether it's low competition, medium competition, or whatever. I really don't care. The only thing I care about is learning about topics. And the topics that Google is showing me in this tool, they're all topics that people are searching for. So, that's all I care about to get topic ideas. Sometimes I may look at a topic and I think, okay, I can write an entire blog post about this topic. And sometimes I may think, okay, I can combine some of these. So for example, over here I saw email newsletter service, and then another one is free newsletter service. So I can easily combine these two. I can write a list type blog post about email newsletter service and have a separate section where I list only the newsletter services that have free tiers or that are free to use or have some kind of free plan or something. So I can mix and match with these topics and think about how to maximize my impact with a blog post. So yeah, all these different types, just go over them and see what jumps out to you. Not all of these topics are going to make sense for your business. Um, for example, this thing, 1000 email address list. I have no idea what this search is for. It has a decent 100 to 1000 searches per month. I have no idea what people are searching for with this keyword, but it doesn't make sense for me, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm only going to pay attention to the topics that make sense for my blog and my business. And then once something makes sense, there's another thing that you can do. So for example, let's say that I want to write about uh, email list for marketing. So this topic, it jumped out to me because I have an email list and I also write about marketing, and I kind of want to see what this particular search is about. So I will copy that and then go back to the top and get rid of newsletter and email list and search for only that, because I'm just curious. I want to see, a detailed breakdown of what other related things people are searching for. And I'm seeing here that, okay, buy email list service, purchase email list, okay. Free email list for marketing. Okay, not making a whole lot of sense, so doesn't matter. So we'll get rid of that, and let's go back to what we had before, newsletter and email list, and look for related topics over there. And then when I like something, so for example, I like the idea of email newsletter service, so I can copy that, and I can actually open up a new browser and search for that particular keyword and see what else is out there. So Zapier has something, the best email newsletter platforms and software. And this is something I do just to research what else is out there so that I can write a blog post that's even better than what's out there. And that's just a good SEO practice. Like whenever you're writing a blog post, just do a Google search and see the top results, what's out there, and kind of look at their top, their sections, basically their main sections. And that gives you an idea what else is out there, and it helps you write an even better blog post. So there's that. That's how I basically use the Google Keyword Planner tool. It kind of helps me get all the different ideas from a broader idea, basically. So hopefully that makes sense.